a podcast.
This is not 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 a podcast. This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast, but it's a broadcast on IG and YouTube to make y'all laugh. To make y'all laugh. And some real life shit to make y'all laugh.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Holly Boogs.
Yeah, it's your boy Watts. It's your boy Grizzly Green.
And this is not a podcast.
Let's go. Yes, sir. And today we got a special guest, Mo in the building.
Mo in the building, in the building, in the building,
Mo,
in the
man,
building,
Mo,
in the building.
Hey, what's good, Mo? What up, baby?
What's going on?
What's going on? How you feeling, man? Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you taking out your time out of your schedule. Come through and show some love.
Busy ass schedule. He stay busy, man.
Busy.
Yeah, I try, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having
Of
me.
course, man. My man looking dapper, man.
Super
Look at
dapper.
that.
Got the suit.
Smoothie.
Yo, I almost thought about putting a suit jacket on. I see Mo IG. I say, yo, he coming suited up.
Suited up,
I said, damn, I should have put my shit on.
He would have shitted on
I
you.
fucked up, bro. Yeah, that's why I really didn't want to do it. I want to start
See,
like
he
that.
got the ascot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what it's called?
I
Ascot?
want to do that, bro. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
nah. But yo, Mo, for the how we like to start us off the show is for the viewers that are not familiar with you. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So, my name is Maurice. Everybody calls me Mo. I'm real estate agent, advisor, investor, real estate company owner, what have you. All things real estate is really what I'm about and what I do. So, if you haven't had a chance to meet me,
Let's go.
You don't know me, now you know.
Let's
Now
go.
you know.
If you don't know,
feel me?
now
If
you
you
know.
don't know, now you
Feel
know.
me?
But yo, so I knew Mo for a minute, right? And he always had that hustling mentality, yo. So me seeing him do what he does now, I said, hell yeah, that's a perfect fit, man. It's a no-brainer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not lying. I'm trying to think, how long it's been. I mean, I probably known you like easily 10, 15 years.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
maybe a little more. And even back then, you know what I'm saying? No matter what it was, whatever we were selling, we was hustling it. So I've always, I feel like all my life I've always sold.
Always.
I was always selling something.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I finally landed on something though that, that was really me. I found my purpose, I feel like.
Hell
for sure.
yeah. That's good, man.
How did you get into the real estate game? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I felt it was so crazy. Like I remember the last job that I had before I got into real estate. I was working from home. This was before it got popular with people doing it like during COVID and that. This was prior to that, right? And it was like the first job I ever had working from home. And in 6 months I had the job clocked, right? So and I was kind of like, like I got all this time, it really didn't take me much time to do the job. It wasn't really, really demanding like that. And I was making good money. I was making six figures. They were paying me a lot of money not to really do much.
Yo, what's up? They hiring?
Is that a referral, bro? What's up, baby?
Yeah, they might be. I don't know. I don't know what's up with them these days. But so I remember, to this point, like, I was always looking like, what can I make some extra money? What's the next hustle? So, and I had for a very long time, I was interested in real estate, but I never really had the time to do it. I always worked a job. We worked a ton of hours.
Too much hours.
So, that job kind of gave me the opportunity to kind of like see what was going on with it. And it's so crazy. I remember thinking like, man, I wonder if they have real estate jobs on like Indeed and like Monster.com, right? Like,
right.
It might sound stupid, but I look, I go searching it and I'm seeing like positions, right? So I'm like, and again, I don't know what I don't know. So, I don't really know how the game goes. I'm just trying to see what it is. So I end up, I'm clicking, I'm tapping, I'm applying, for these jobs. And I end up getting a call from a recruiter. And like fast forward, I found out that what happened is there was a real estate team that had put up this ad on Indeed. And, they hired that recruiter to help them try to find somebody to join their team.
Okay.
And again, I'm taking it super light. I got this job. I'm just like, I'm going through the motions.
Yeah, it's a side hustle.
But, it started like going through the motions with like the interview process and all that. I'm just kind of like, yeah, all right. I'm showing up and doing whatever, but it started getting serious. It started getting close. And then they're like, all right, like we like, everything that you talked about, everything that you've done, in your past or whatever, like we want you to join. And that's just kind of, like how it came together in a kind of simple way. And then just with applying myself a lot in the beginning, I started, really started learning the game. My eyes started getting open to it. And I'm like, nah, there's a ton of money here.
You seen them dollar signs, right?
You know what I'm saying? For sure. and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was a different spin on like, you know, sales and helping people. So, you know, that's kind of how it started. And then I just, you know, try to, you know, parlay one situation into another to kind of grow it. You know, and then really start learning the game where it starts to, you know, become bigger than just, you know, the houses you're selling to people. But then it's like, you know, how do you take it to another level of like growing a company and, you know, helping agents and, you know, all other stuff, investing and helping investors and, you know, so there's levels to it.
Yeah.
And I've just been, you know, trying to every year.
Ascend at every level. Nice.
Hey, I've been doing my best.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's crazy how it just like how you took it like maybe some shit on the side. Let's
Yeah,
see what happened
you know,
right.
and where's that today?
100%.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I tell the story, like, you know, I'm like, you know, I kind of just, you know, let me see. Like it was super duper casual. But I just felt like it's in those moments. I feel like when you're not really expecting, you know, something or, you know, things come from where you at least expect them.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like
Like,
that.
always
like you said with your job, like you had a lot of idle time. So you was
Yeah.
like, hold on, I could be doing something else in between.
Yeah, bro, I had so much time. Like,
Damn,
it was-
shout out to that job, yo.
Yeah, they held it down. Yeah. MTI, shout out to MTI.
Yeah, hold on,
Yo,
let's save that.
Google
Write
that.
that down. Let me write that down, bro. Let me write that down.
Wait, Maurice Negron.
Yeah, let me write that
Yo,
down. Bro.
Yo,
Reference.
a week later, yo, you know I got applied for the job.
I'm like, yo, Mo, they just hit me back. Yo.
Yeah, you know what was crazy about that job is that that company essentially is a research and development company. They make security. They make the security products for the phones and the tablets we used to sell, right? So like, you know, those phones are being held by like a cage or something that's wrapped around them.
Shit.
That company used to make them. So they hired me because what happened is they were like, well, all of our customers, like all of our clients are the people that you used to work for.
Right.
So then what happened is I never really, when I worked that job, I never crossed your path with it, but like I was essentially the accounts we had with stores I used to run. So I knew all of those people. So it was
Easy,
like,
yeah.
I just, again, that was another one that I was like, oh, let me see if I like, let me just apply to this.
Right.
Like people actually get, you know, jobs working from home. Like to me, that was kind of unheard of. So that was another one that I just kind of like inquired and it stuck. So
Shit.
Fire, bro.
6 figures from the crib.
Word up.
Chacho.
With time to chill. Talk about like, yo, I
and
got
time
nothing
to
to do.
chill.
Facts. Yeah.
Chacho. No clocking, no punch out. You heard me?
So, what do you like the most now about what you do? Is it the relationships you build, or just the fact that obviously the money is everything, but like I know that type of hustle is a little bit different than what you used to.
yeah, I mean, definitely it's the people that you like, you're going to see like in this business, there's a ton of relationships being built, a ton of people that you meet. And it's not just like the people you selling houses to, but like other agents and just, I really, really enjoy that. And I'm just passionate about it. So like, granted, of course, like we all got to pay our bills, right? You know, we're not doing jobs for free. But it's been probably one of the only jobs that I ever worked where I felt like I could really just focus on being great at it and the money will come.
Right.
And it's really just been that, like, you know, how do I better serve the people that I'm coming in contact with? And, you know, being an expert, you know, understanding more of what the market is doing, the best ways to buy homes, the best way to invest, et cetera. Like focusing on that and then just watching the money come and then just growing it. So like outside of any other job that I've had, honestly, I've been most passionate about this. And then
Let's
like
go.
just doing the sales, I feel like it was more of those other jobs. It was more of a job, you know.
Tasking, yeah.
Try to reach the quota type shit.
Correct.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
talked about it. Punch in, punch out. You know, I'm stuck. You know, you want me to be here from this time to this time. You know, it was harder with like quality of life and et cetera. So, you know, now I'm still working probably like the same hours or even more now. I'm still working hard. I'm still hustling, but you know, it's more of having that flexibility to kind of like maneuver how I want.
It's a little more on your terms.
Correct. You hit me, I'm like 5:30, I like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? It's no problem. Now I won't book nothing. I book stuff before, I book stuff after, whatever it looks like. And then, you know, it's you know, essentially any real estate agent is they own their own business. I'm maneuvering my own business. You know what I'm saying?
Your business on, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that. For sure.
So what's like your official title? Like what are you, as a real estate agent, real estate like
I mean, real estate broker,
okay.
broker owner.
Okay.
It's probably my official title. A lot of people, like, you'll see, like, a lot of real estate agents, they put, in their business cards, like, real estate agent or, real estate salesperson. I really don't like to use the sales term.
Okay.
On my business cards, I have real estate advisor.
Okay.
Let's go.
I feel like, a lot of, real estate agents, they're pushing the sale, right? Or they're pushing, like, hey, look, I want you to, I'm the expert. Trust what I say, do what I say, and then you'll get it. And for me, it's not really that way. I approach my clients with, like, hey, look, I want you to come out of the transaction being much more knowledgeable. So I'm educating you on the process and helping you through the process, but you're the one that's pulling the trigger. You're making the moves, right? So it's not a situation where, you're just giving me blind trust and praying that, like, I take you to where you need to get.
Yeah.
And then, it works great too, because then when you buy after that or any moves you're making after that, you're much more educated about the process. They feel better about the process, more comfortable. So I'm a real estate advisor. I'm not a real estate salesperson.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you know what I'm saying, in the shows, you know what I'm saying?
And it sounds, it just sounds better. You know what I'm saying? Sales is
Hell
almost
yeah.
like sleazy.
Trust this nigga with my trust this nigga with my life.
Right. So it
Like, you
actually
feel me? Like, this is the one we gotta buy. All right, we
is-
buying this one.
It's definitely a better way.
Like, now, trust me, you buying this crib
Yeah,
today.
today,
Trust me.
true.
This is it.
How was it when you made your first sale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, he's taking me back.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like my first sale for sure. I think was as a matter of fact, you remember Mike Latour?
Yeah.
So Mike Latour worked with us.
Okay.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
My guy.
Mike, I appreciate you, my brother. You supported me in the beginning. He was my first sale.
Nice.
Wow.
So it was
a friend. That's dope,
it was a friend. So I remember, like, first couple of months, like, just kind of like grinding. They teaching me the ropes and just more about, like, prospecting, looking for clients, whatever that looks like. I happened to bump into Mike, and he's like, yo, I see you on social media. I see you, like, doing real estate now. Like, I need some help. I'm looking for a house, and like, I absolutely, definitely owe it to Mike. Mike, I appreciate you, because in this business, a lot of it too is what you do with those people that are in front of you, right? And those deals become other deals, and they refer other people.
Right.
And in the beginning, I feel like it's very important. Those deals in the beginning are very important for people seeing that you're actually doing business, that you
Your
understand
future,
what
yeah.
you're doing.
Right, for growth.
So
Yeah.
a lot of those sales in the beginning, that first sale was pivotal. So, like, to be able to and then to be able to work with somebody I knew,
A little
I
more
felt like-
comfortable, yeah.
Correct. So
Yeah.
he's a little bit more comfortable. I was a little bit more
Right.
comfortable. It's not like, somebody that just got off the street, like, they don't know me. I'm trying to, like, work to build rapport, or if,
Right.
like, I don't fully know everything, they're kind of looking at me like, well, why you don't know this? Or
Why do we hire this guy? Yeah.
So it was more of like, he understood where I was at, and he gave me grace. So I appreciate him.
Shout out to Mike. That's
Shout out
my
to
guy,
Mike, man.
too.
Look what you helped create, man.
Facts, yo.
Fire, bro. Fire. Yeah, real estate is it's a interesting thing. I always heard when I was younger, people wanted to go into real estate and take, the real estate courses.
Sure.
But I never really found anybody like it panned out with, But I think it's a lot to what you said is the grind, right? You have to make sure you hustle. Like, you can't just be in it and, like, hope it's gonna fall in your lap. Like, you have to look for.
Yeah.
for a
I think
profit.
that's what people think, that once you get it, it's gonna.
right.
Yeah.
That shit on.
Nah,
you gotta,
yeah,
you
Like, you
gotta
get your license,
hustle,
you get
yo.
your license, and people's gonna be knocking your door like, yo,
Like,
man, find me a house.
You gotta
Right.
hustle.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
hustle.
No
You gotta
way.
hustle.
It absolutely does not work like that.
It's the exact opposite, right?
Yeah, it's the exact
Facts.
opposite. The thing is like, most people are used to, the regular 9 to 5, which is like, okay, like, I do even if you don't necessarily, like, do the job the greatest, like, as long as I do what is asked of me,
Right.
that check is going to be there on Friday or whatever. Right. And I think that most people go to real estate, they're coming from being in that environment. So they're used to being held accountable. Now you're doing real estate, you have to hold yourself accountable.
Right.
It's like, yeah, granted, you work this job, it's like, you don't show up, you're done. So you kind of know, right?
Right.
Versus it being like, you have the option to be like, nah, I'm not going to do it right now.
I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'm a little tired. You start making excuses for yourself. But, I think it's really one of those, you either going to sink or swim. You're either one of those people that are like, hey, look, I'm going to transition into this, and I know what it is. Like, I'm not going to fail.
Yeah.
So, and at some point, what happened with me was I was working MTI. I was working that job at MTI, and I was doing real estate at the same time. The wild part is that the people that I was working with, they didn't know it.
Okay.
So I gotta pat myself a little bit on the back for that one.
man,
Because I don't even like still to this day. I think I'm like man, you're a savage. Like how are you doing that? They literally didn't know I had a full-time job. They had no idea. And they used to have me in the office every day. So it wasn't like, I was able to kind of keep it from, so because I was like working from home or whatever.
Right.
They had me in the office because I was learning and I really didn't have like any clients. So they had me in the office every day. Monday through Friday, I was in the office probably like 8 in the morning to like 5. Yeah. So I was still working that job during the day at the same time and still maneuvering.
Finagling.
Yeah, finagling heavy. So it was literally
That's the hustler right there,
Hey,
boy. Yo,
man.
yo.
Sometimes I think about like, hey man, like don't forget that guy, like who that guy was. Sometimes I feel like you start making money, you get a little complacent.
Right.
I don't want to lose that hunger of that guy. You know what I'm saying? Back then, because back then I was like, I'm selling houses by any means necessary. Like we're gonna do this, and then eventually, I think it was not even a long time. I started, I believe in September of that year. I think it was August or September of 2018, and then literally, I think in February. I let that job go. So, and I was doing decent, but I wasn't like killing it. Right. But I think that's a part of it. Sometimes you hold that crutch, it doesn't allow you to elevate, right?
Hell yeah.
So once I cut that and it was like, that's it. Yeah. You're either gonna do this or you're gonna be on the street.
Sink or swim,
and that gave me that extra like, all right, like, let's go after it and do it. So,
what a hustler, bro.
We were so
no, go ahead.
So I was mentioning about the triple play, right? I want to get into that for the viewers, but also after you elaborate about that, I want to know, how do you feel like real estate is, right? Because is it like more like kill or be killed, or do you think it's better with networking, having a network? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely better networking. You're in the people business. I think that there's people that approach it differently,
right?
And I feel like they don't last in the business, or they don't go as far. It's not like, hey, like, we're two agents. It's a war. Some agents, they approach it.
They see it that way. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm on the other side of a deal with an agent. I'm like, don't you realize we need each other for this transaction to work?
Right.
It doesn't necessarily need to be like that. And at the end of the day, if we're going to continue to do business, I'll probably see you down the road.
Right.
So for me, the relationships with my clients or the relationships with those agents are just as important as the relationship with my clients. So that's how I approach it. But there's a lot of people that don't approach it like that. But I feel like most of the time, those agents are ones that are not really doing majority of the business. Like if you look at it statistically, is a small percentage of agents that are doing majority of the business. And I think those people are the ones that understand that concept.
Gotcha.
And it's not really war. They're like, hey, look, what do we need to do? Let's figure it out. Let's work together.
Right.
At the end of the day, in a transaction, everybody needs to work together. So buyer and seller, they get what they need. The agents get what they need. Everybody gets what they need. Right. When it's war, then it's a problem. It's not really the small.
And that'll probably show during the transaction.
100%. Yeah. Clients feel it. Everybody feels it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was getting to the triple play thing, which is kind of you were saying a convention for everybody to come together.
Yeah. So I mean, and I tell you something crazy. Like in this last triple play in December that just passed, there were like agents that I was speaking to that had no idea what triple play was. They didn't know about it. And I found it mind blowing because I'm like, they do this every year. It's probably the biggest real estate event of the year, especially in New Jersey, definitely the biggest real estate convention. And they had no idea about it. I was educating some of the agents and I was kind of telling them like, if you can make it down, you should, right? Like you have thousands of agents in one place, hundreds of vendors in one place for this convention, other real estate companies, people that you can network with, products that you can see, just different things you could do. I will say, to a degree, some people come down as like just to have fun. And
I was going to say to party up.
The mistake is they fall into that too much. Right. I'm not going to tell you we don't have a good time for sure. We do, and some of that is a part of the networking.
Right.
And I feel like maybe that's why some people don't come down either. Some people, their perception is kind of like, oh, you guys are just down there kind of like hanging out and partying and drinking and whatever. But I think it's more or less
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And it'd be Atlantic. Is it AC, right? Atlantic City?
Yeah.
So it's right. Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you something right now. If he was ever a real estate agent, don't let that man go to AC.
Nah, bro.
He ain't gonna leave.
I play poker at night and we go to the real estate set.
He ain't gonna leave. He'll be
Has
late.
two agents ever sold the same house at the same time?
Yeah, right.
Two agents sold the same home
To different people.
No.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't understand what you
So,
mean.
all right, so there's one house.
Right.
One agent is selling the same house and a different agent selling the same house.
Nah, I've never seen that.
Like,
I mean-
like, oh shit,
We both selling the same
the
house?
house.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's a good question.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe. you
Nah,
know,
I've never seen it. Closest thing to that I've seen is like
bidding wars.
two agents like kind of working with the same client. The client is kind of like playing them.
oh,
Like, oh, you know,
this one's giving me this.
He's
and
sending properties, and they're like, whoever sent me the property and show me the
Best.
property I like, then that's what
that's
we
the
doing.
the hustle, yo.
Yeah.
Jesus,
But
yo.
you know-
Is that like taboo? Is that like that's supposed to do that?
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of wild, but like
Now we know. Now we know.
But you know, at the end of the day, like part of it too is just also how you educate your client and set the expectations. Like
Right.
you guys again, like as a client, you don't know what you don't know, right? You're like, look, man, I'm trying to see as many properties
Get
I
the
can
best
see. I'm
deal.
trying to get the best deal.
The best
whatever.
deal, yes.
So I feel like more of it is how you approach that client in the beginning. And usually I have a process, like I sit down, I do a consultation, and we kind of go over that. And I understand that, you know, some people be like, oh, I kind of get it now. That's kind of messed up. I'm working with both of you at the same time. But I feel like in the beginning, they kind of realize like, you guys are just both sending me property. I'm looking at them and whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I usually tell them, hey, look, you know, why you working with me? You know, all I ask is that while you working with me, you work with me. If you decide to go in a different direction,
Just let me
no
know.
problem. Just let me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then I just go through, you know, the entire, you know, home buying process and stuff like that. That's usually how I stand out. A lot of agents, what they're doing is that happens because I feel like they're just running. They're not setting expectations. It's quantity. It's not quality. They just look at how many can I get. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this client. I got
Fling,
this
fling,
client.
fling. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and door openers. They just open the door. Oh, you want to see this house? They're going. They think they're gonna get you like that. But there's no loyalty in a relationship that's not built. That's really, you know what I'm saying?
That's 101.
Jesus Christ.
So, you know, it's like if I'm just opening the door for you, we haven't built any kind of rapport. I don't know anything about you, your situation, what you're looking for. Like,
How could you really help me?
you think that person's gonna be loyal?
They don't owe you nothing.
Nah, every agent is doing the same thing. But if I'm sitting down with you, like really trying to understand, like why you buying a house, like
What you
why
got going on, yeah.
why you looking here? What's important to you? Like what's important to you in a house? Like who's moving in with you? Like you have kids? Like what does that look like? That process is much more quality. You're like, nah, this guy's asking me questions that no one asked me.
Right.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and that's really how you stand out.
Also makes me get more comfortable with you.
Yeah. Instead of like, yo, so when are you trying to sell? I mean, when you trying to buy?
Like, yo, how much you
Like,
got?
how much you got?
How much you got on
Nah,
it?
never mind. Go the other
Yeah,
guy.
that's not gonna
Call
work.
the other guy, bro.
How much you charging me? Yeah, the other one's charging me 10 less.
Call the other
Oh, you
guy.
don't got that much money? Get out of here, chump. Nah, but so I got a question, a little pivot off, but it's a question I really want to know.
Yeah.
Where is the hot spots right now? Not just in New Jersey, but like
States too.
no,
World.
Like where's
World.
the hot spots? I know DR is one of them.
I mean,
elaborate on.
Yeah,
what you think.
definitely. I mean, I would say going international for sure. You know, DR, we do a good amount of business in DR. We've been moving internationally over there.
Nice.
You know, condo stuff. You know, to do like Airbnb or like buying villas and doing it, you can still get it cheap. And then the other part of it is just more or less how the country is being ran. You know, you got spots like Puerto Rico. There's no property tax, stuff like that. You know, like where we get dogged here in New Jersey is that the taxes are high.
Yeah, one of the highest.
Yeah. The thing is, in the tri-state area, though, you still, you know, the jobs are paying more. So you can make more money up here. It's just better to buy your real estate elsewhere, especially if you're investing. But you can still find deals here in New Jersey. You just got to know how to look at them. You just got to have the right agent. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I like Mo.
Facts.
Double bomb for that.
Yo, facts. But it's true. It's very, very true.
But yeah,
Very true.
So like internationally, hotspots in the States for sure. Like Texas is definitely a hotspot.
I see some big ass cribs in fucking Texas.
Yo,
for sure.
Instagram is gonna
No
make you
tax
want
over there,
to.
right?
Instagram makes me
There's
look
no
at that
sales
shit.
tax in Texas too, right? Or
Yeah, in Texas.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's why
Instagram
this
is
nigga-
making me want to pack up
My
and go
boy,
out to Texas.
my boy, from Tesla moved out there. You heard?
Oh, your boy Young Ilani?
yeah,
Young
Ilani.
Lonnie, what do you think he did?
I don't think
that?
you worry about no taxes,
That's
bro.
but that's what I'm saying. But that's one of the things, you know,
Yeah.
niggas allow.
Young Lonnie.
Right, I pay that shit.
What
anyway,
about the
man.
boxer nigga that lives in Puerto Rico, the white boy?
Oh, Jake
Jake
Paul.
Paul.
Come on,
Jake
he
Paul.
saved a lot of money
Yeah.
from buying that
Facts.
fucking mansion and land and all that shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
niggas
look,
are smart.
because look, you start making a lot of money, and then the problem is, or the goal, the thing you're chasing is not like making more money, is keeping.
Keeping the money.
the money.
Ah,
So it's
that's
like-
another bomb.
Hey,
You dropping gems.
You gotta
heard?
learn how to keep the money.
yeah, look, you can make it, but you got to be able to keep it. You know, every opportunity Uncle Sam get, they're gonna put their hand. in
Oh
your
my
pocket.
God,
So-
yo.
So when it comes to like in DR and stuff like that. You mentioned Airbnbs.
Yo, I want to buy a house in DR.
Because the hot spots is hot spots, man. It's just developing,
Facts.
you know. For like Airbnbs and shit like that. So how do you go about that? Do you sell to clients that are looking for Airbnbs, or are you presenting it as Airbnbs? Like, how does that work?
So it depends on their investment strategy. Like sometimes they're like, you know, in a good amount of times they're like, look, I want to invest in property. They don't know what their exact strategy is, right? You know, but more or less it's asking them questions to kind of figure out like what they want to do. With Airbnb, sometimes what they'll do, going international, it gives you an option of like most of those clients are buying so that they could use the property when they want to, and then Airbnb it or rent it out when they're not there, right? So it's twofold. It's like, look, I want to buy a property somewhere where I can vacation, but when I'm not there, I want to make money off of it.
Right.
And then a lot that's happening internationally with you know a lot of these countries being built up and these developers going there. Is if you get in early enough, the property is rising quickly, right? So like in DR, you know, we deal with you know, a couple big developers there that have like a crazy amount. Like there's this one developer there that has like 800 acres in Las Arenas.
Oh my God.
So like just imagine. So like, and I remember like we asked him like, you know, when do you expect to finish the project? And he's like, never. You know what I mean? Like no. I'm like. And then I'm like, well, 800 acres, he might be right. Like, he's like, never. Like, we're gonna continue to build and develop here.
Right.
And then you got to think how many units he could possibly get into 800 acres.
Shit.
And then the plan is more or less that plan for that was like the 800 acres is basically building a community.
I was gonna say build a community
in Las Arenas.
Yeah,
so it's like the goal is for you to be able to live here and not have to leave. So like bring a supermarket, bring a club, bring this. So like they're not only just selling the units, but then they're selling like, let's say, you know, you have a successful business here, a successful laundromat, a successful like restaurant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could buy into commercial space there to be in that area. Now you're one of the prominent restaurants
and now you're
in the community.
See, that's when those Walmart niggas take over.
Next,
Like, yo, let's go buy a chunk over there and bring a Walmart to DR.
Yeah.
But it's true. That's how they Target in Walmart and DR, a fucking Walmart in DR. I'm like, holy shit.
That'll fuck everything up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like people will buy in.
They do that on purpose because they're gonna see the property developing. I need to be right there.
Yeah. And the thing is about because you asked about kind of like emerging markets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The emerging markets are the areas that are underdeveloped. So like you would feel like you guys might think like Texas or some of those states where the property is cheap, that it's not underdeveloped. And it's not really necessarily underdeveloped, but not as developed as like New York and New Jersey.
Right.
We're living on top of each other.
Yeah.
So if you look like down in Texas, they have all this land. So like I remember looking and going like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. Like you could build a house there cheaper. I don't understand why. But it's understanding those markets, those areas, and how the prices change, and then also understanding that the deals and what's being done down there provided by developers is so much different. Like I'll see agents there and they're like, yeah, I sold this, 5 bed, 5 bath house, for $350,000.
Wow.
And they're like, and
millions.
And like, yeah. And like, and the developer gave my client like a 3% rate, you know what I'm saying? Which is unheard of. Like the rates up here right now is like, 5.5, 6.
Right.
It's like 2 times less. The thing was, is, before I got knowledgeable about the game, I didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't understand how they're doing it. That doesn't make sense. But then when you understand, it's like that developer is so big, the developer is not only selling them the property, but the developer is the one that's providing the loan. So at the end of the day,
I didn't know that.
They get double
that's
that.
crazy.
So that's why the rate is lower. It's because the developer is the one that's giving them the loan.
Wow.
And then you'll see usually with those communities, like the developer has like the title company, they're doing the loan. So they eat in 3 different ways.
Monopoly on the
Jesus.
shit
100%. So they're like, okay, we'll lend you the money for less. At the end of the day, we sold you the property. We'll lend you the
I'm
less.
still getting money off you no matter what.
We still
killing
recouping
it.
that
Yo,
shit.
Texas.
Texas,
Yo,
where's
Watts,
that,
man?
Al, I think Texas is
Every time we get somebody to make some move, we move it over there. We doing something over there. We taking their job every time.
But it's crazy because I see on Instagram these beautiful big ass houses where over here's $1 million, $2 million over here where we live at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
I always make the joke that like here we're just selling the same stuff over and over again. Because if you look in those states too, all the stuff you're looking at, they're selling is all new construction. It's all
new,
brand new,
brand new,
all beautiful,
Fully
But
furnished.
They have the land.
They have the space. We don't have no space for it.
Yeah.
You think like Texas and then the Carolinas is big too.
Like, yo,
South Carolina, forget
like,
it.
yo, Al, bro. I brought the house that your mom's used to remember.
100%.
It's like it's some weird because that's like he's saying like you buy and everything
everyone's
used.
it's being recycled.
That's like oh yeah, my mom's house. Oh yo, I moved into your What the fuck? Like you know what I'm saying? Like yo.
I was looking at something like this thing, like I guess from like a real estate point of view, like
Sure.
I've seen like a statistic where they're saying like the average. So in order for you to not live check by check in New Jersey, you got to make like 120 thousand.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like not everyone does that. Of course. Do you get scared when it comes to that? Like how people are not making more money, but the cost of houses are going
Keeps
higher.
on going higher.
I'm gonna tell you, brother. I think me and you, we learned this concept back when we was running and gunning in our previous industry. I try to never let those limited beliefs creep into my mind.
Good.
I think that you and I we learned this a long time ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they throw at me. I'm gonna figure out a way.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that if you keep that mindset, and not to like, not to make it seem like the state of the market doesn't affect how sales move and doing. But I think for me it's also like, look, even if the buying, the selling slows down, there's still people every day buying and selling. So I tell my agents, like, listen, homes are being bought and sold every day. The only question is whether it's going to be you
Or not.
helping them buy it, and helping them sell it. So it's simple as that. I mean, looking at some of the market, like sometimes I'll go like, all right, well, I wonder what this is going to mean for, us as, real estate agents or people buying and selling. You'll see things go up, come down. You have like ebbs and flows normally of the business, even without anything happening in the economy. So like just, like for instance, you take like the holiday season, things tend to slow down a bit. People are not trying to sell in the middle of like celebrating Christmas and all of that. And then you have like, it's usually the holidays and the weather. People start like, nah, we're gonna wait a month, we're gonna wait a couple of weeks, we're gonna, let's, reconvene after the holiday. Right. But it's again, for every couple of people that I got like that, I have somebody else that's like, I wanna buy now.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't put that in. If you put that in your mind, that's exactly where your business will go. But if you put it in your mind, like, hey, look, there's people out here making moves. I need to find those people, and I'll keep my business going. Then you'll be straight.
I was thinking about like
focus up.
Talladega Nights. He's like, yo, don't put that witchcraft on me.
Nah, it's true. It's like you don't
Cut
want
his legs off.
You don't want to focus. You don't want to focus. You don't want to focus on the people that can't do it. You want to focus on the people that can do it and grab them and gravitate towards you.
Like he said, and he's 100% correct. Like in the business I'm in, I always tell my people, like, you can't make that decision for the customer.
Nah.
You got to allow them to tell you what they can do or not. So you're here to assist them.
Yeah.
You can't say, "Oh, nah, that's too expensive for them." You don't know what they're going through.
Nah, because you're trying to sell them. You're trying to sell them with your pockets. It's not your pockets. It's their pockets.
It's their pockets.
You know what I'm saying? You never know. Talk yourself.
And that's
out
a
of
big
it.
fact, though.
So, as of right now, do you work with like a team, or you have your own solo thing going on? What's going on with that?
Yes, so I have a team of 5 agents now.
Okay.
TNT, shout out to my agents, TNT,
Shout out to
Negron team. And yeah, man, we maneuver every day. You know what I'm saying? We together talking and doing what we do. Chasing these clients and these deals, putting them together, and then just chasing our goals. So we're at the top of the year, so where we are now is kind of like just we set our goals a couple of months ago for where we're about to go, and just kind of evaluating what we need to do in order to hit them. So I got some big goals for this year. I did pretty good. This past year, I sold like 49 homes this past year.
Congratulations.
Yo,
man.
hold on,
Congrats.
bless. You got a little dust right there.
That's a blessing, brother.
Ain't no dust to that
Blessing,
suit, man.
bro.
That suit was dust proof, bro.
He stepped out the press.
Yo,
right before
man,
he
that's
came
a
over here.
blessing, bro.
Yeah, thank God, man. I have a dog, and he's relentless on my suits. I can't.
What type of dog you got?
an English cream retriever.
Oh,
So it's
definitely
like
nice long hair.
So it's like a
yeah.
golden retriever, but he's all white. Forget it.
Over.
Shout out to my dog Legend. I love you,
That's
man.
a legend, man.
Yo,
Fire.
real quick, little
Yeah, you gotta get
sidebar,
it.
man. And like you talking about you leading your team. Yo, he's a good leader, man, because he was my boss.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And
appreciate
he
that,
motivated.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? And
You
he
always need that
listens,
motivation.
He helps. And one thing is, if you come up to him with a problem, he will sit back and be like, all right, so this is how we're going to do it. And he'll figure it out, man.
Fire.
And I learned that firsthand.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
You have to care. The thing is, again, like, you know, too many people have commission breath. You know, their whole existence is just around the money.
Right.
And usually when it's like that, people could feel it. You know,
Right,
what
right,
I mean?
yeah,
like,
I know.
oh, like, you're just here for the money. You're just here for the check. You're just here for the commission on this deal. You don't really care about how it's going to turn out for me. What this, you know, house is going to look like for me. You know, what the situation looks like for me with work or the problem that I came, you know, to you with. Like, I don't know. I was raised right. You know, I just, you know, my mind is not going to like, oh, it's not my problem, or like, what's the quickest way to just get this over with? You know what I'm saying? I've always put people before myself. I've always been selfless, and I think a leader needs to be like,
Absolutely.
If you're not selfless as a leader, that's a whole part of it.
Yeah.
Like I can't be a leader if I'm not, you know, walking through the fire with you, in the trenches with you, and kind of like, look, if you guys are not winning, I'm not winning.
Right.
So for all you leaders out there, if you're not, you know, maneuvering selfless, I'm not sure how far you're gonna get.
Yeah, and it shows, man.
And
It shows.
I also think it relates to what you said earlier too about having like self-discipline, especially in the real estate thing where we talked about, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I could just do it later, right? It's like, nah, man, I gotta get it done now. Even though you don't have a boss that's telling you, hey, you're gonna get fired if you don't show up to work tomorrow. You gotta be your own boss and be like, listen, think about it like that. Like, I'm not gonna work. Ain't gonna be no work if I hold this off till tomorrow. So having the self-discipline as well is very
That's
important.
funny because
That's crucial.
like I worked for somebody a long time ago. I was like 33 and he was 37. Nigga's a multimillionaire. But I'm like, damn, I'm only a couple years.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? Like,
Right.
and I would sit down with him. Obviously, he's Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so they come from money. I'm just saying they come from money already.
right.
Sure.
You know, he got blessed, but 40, 50 M's.
But still, he could have lost
And
that
you know,
money.
but if you know what's
if
funny?
he didn't do it
I
correct.
would ask him, why you come to work all the time?
Right.
He's like, someone got to do it. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at this nigga, but I'm like, because I paid y'all to do it, but I need to be here.
too.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, I could be home somewhere in a different country, flying out my whole family
Just
because I
texting
need
and
to
like,
be.
yo,
he
what's
wouldn't
going on?
bother us, but he just needed to be there
Yeah.
every day. And I'm like, yo, I never see shit like that.
Oversee
There's a
the
difference
business,
between
too.
the manager and the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
A huge difference. You know.
It's crazy. yo. Shout
One
out.
last thing before
One
I
last-
think,
yeah,
one
yep,
last
yep,
thing.
let's do it.
Is there any advice for first-time home buyers in the state of New Jersey that you could give out right now? Some free game
Yeah, I mean,
without it giving out too much.
No, of course. I mean, look, first time home buyers should really definitely, especially people who are looking for like down payment assistance. You know, maybe you don't have a ton of money saved, or you just don't want to spend your own money. Take advantage of the grants and the things that are available to you. They have grants, or the state has grants where you can get up to $25,000 to put towards a house here, down towards a crib. Then also first time home buyers, if you use a government backed loan, FHA loan or a VA loan, you could put down as low as 3.5%. So like, I feel like one of the biggest things for first time home buyers is, again, like, they don't know what they don't know.
The lack of knowledge.
One of the biggest things I feel like across life period is to educate yourself. Try to educate yourself on the process. I think most of the time we just, we're afraid of the giant that we don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like you haven't really looked into it and seen what your options are. If you would understand, like, it's more possible than you think. There's a lot of people that right now are renting that could easily, purchase a home. They don't know. Again, they don't know what they don't know. They're just so used to renting and paying the money. They're paying off somebody else's mortgage, and it's just not what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, also too now, Section 8 just released something where now Section 8 is paying mortgages. So like, I
saw that.
And not a lot of people are, abreast to the process of what to do. It's fairly new. But listen, this is another opportunity. If you have Section 8, they're paying your rent. They'll pay your mortgage. So, definitely holla at me.
Facts, yo.
Yeah, facts.
I don't got Section 8.
He's like, hold on.
Hold on. Wait, we might have to get some Section 8 though.
Nah, he didn't tell him enough. If you want more information,
right.
link in
Facts.
bio.
Link in bio. Hit him up. I might host a class for your ass.
So, all right. So, before we wrap up the show, we always like to get to our favorite segment of the show, which is our only segment of the show, and it's Boogie's Famous Five. Right?
Let's go.
So, Boogie's gonna ask you 5 questions, quick hitters. You answer them. You know how we feel. Right, Boogie. Question number 1. Let's go.
What motivates you on days that you feel stuck or discouraged?
Ooh.
Man, I would say definitely my family and Christ.
Let's go.
I'll tell you another thing. Not to get too spiritual on you guys, but I tell you that the tough times and the failures is what I know brought all the success and the things that I've gotten. I've realized that I feel like the way God blesses me is by pulling me through the tough times. So once I realized that, it allowed for me to be able to deal with it better because I understood that, like, look, this is God growing me, and I know there's something that's coming out on the other end of it. You know what I'm saying? So then it's just more of like, look, I'm not working for myself or anyone else. I'm working for Him. It's His plan, and whatever He has for me, that's how I'm maneuvering. So
Yeah. Amen to that.
Yeah, amen to that.
Question number 2.
What type of music you like?
man, I like a lot of things, hip hop. I listen to Spanish music. I don't understand Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Super
So who's your favorite artist? Let me say it like that.
Look, I like a lot of the old school stuff, old school rap. Like of course, Biggie.
Let's go.
Cole Megas, Capone and Norris.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so we have a West Coast background, and a lot of people ask us why, but I just try to be a little different. Tupac everywhere and Snoop everywhere. But
Yeah, I like a lot of all of the. I feel like the old school music was just different.
Better.
Me too. Me too.
Hit the old school R&B, all that. Something good.
R&B
That
ain't
total-
made the same no more.
that
man.
112, you heard that 112?
R&B voice. and
Jagged
shit.
Edge. All right. Question number 3.
What's your favorite plate of food that you can eat every day?
Let's go.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Let me see.
Yo, the Carnegie size.
I think that's the second guy that sound we got, bro.
Yeah, the second person.
God, that gets sound. We hit.
Look, we in a bad spot. I'm mad at you or something. Pull up with that.
It's over, right? You might get a discount. You might get a little discount, a little something.
You hollering him, got some Carnegie
Got- Yo, boy, totones and all that with the avocado.
Yo, I heard you were hungry.
I heard you were hungry. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Question number 4.
What's your favorite sneaker?
Favorite sneaker. I would say now it's crazy. I feel like now that I'm older, before we used to do the J's, the Air Forces, now I'm into a lot of the New Balances. I'm going for comfort. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ooh, okay.
And a lot of the low cut joys or the dunks.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm in a suit, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm on, so those usually work best for me. So that's really what
My man moving different. You heard?
Facts.
Facts.
Comfortableness.
It's actually about my shoes, bro.
He said with the Dr. Scholl's insole.
100%.
Yeah, all that.
Ooh, I'm about to.
Question number 5.
I bet you has a fire answer for this one. What does success look like for you right now?
Man, look, success for me looks like doing what God put me on this earth to do. You know what I'm saying? Helping people, providing for my family, and just being happy. I think all too often, we success for how it looks for certain people. I feel like they attach it to things that they really shouldn't. And I think a lot of times the smaller things, the most basic things that we really should be looking for and searching for and pursuing, those are the things that we never really think that is what success looks like. And for me, it's more of peace of mind, being able to take care of my family and just taking care of the people that I'm helping. With that, I'm good.
Yo,
let's go.
Listen
man.
to that. You heard?
Yo, man.
Jesus.
And that was Boogie's Famous 5, man. You killed it, Mo.
Pretty good.
Facts. You killed it.
He was like this on point.
Yeah,
I ain't
facts.
going front.
Just ask me something.
I ain't going front. If this nigga was selling a class, I'll sign up. You heard me? You heard me?
Yo,
Facts.
So,
yo.
Mo, before we wrap up the show, we'd like to give the guests any chance to promote anything you got going on, or let people know where they can find you at IG and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
or shout outs, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you guys having me.
Of course, man.
You guys want to find me on Instagram, Real Estate by Mo. My team, TNT, the Negron team, you know, that's really, you know, my business and what we're doing. We got a lot of stuff coming. If you guys need help with anything real estate related or anything for that matter, you know, you can reach out to me via IG. My number is linked to there. You know, you guys can email me, whatever it is, any questions, anything you need in terms of investing or buying or selling, I got you.
Yeah, my man.
All right,
let's go.
Nice. You already know what it is, baby.
And y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Holly Bugs.
Yeah, it's your boy Watts.
It's your boy Grizzly Green,
And this is not a podcast.
My man Mo in the building.
You heard?
Let's go.
Holla in for the house.
Yeah.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast. This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast. This is not a podcast.